Together this morning in worship today, whether you are with us in person this morning or joining us online, we are so happy you are here with us, worshiping with us today. I am the Reverend Dayna Edwards, and my pronouns are she and her, and I am so delighted to welcome you to this time of connection and celebration. And I am a white cisgendered woman wearing slacks and a maroon shirt with a yellow stole, and I have short brown hair, and I am a petite woman. At Cedar Lane, we are a religious community where love works. Yes, let's say that again, where love works. Yes. Where we explore the eternal, nurture community, and build a more just world. We dare to embody beloved community, creating a space where everyone, no matter their background, their beliefs, their sexual orientation, gender identity, ability, documentation status, or life experience, everybody is welcome to bring their wholly, perfectly imperfect selves here into our community. If you're new or still feel new, we'd love to connect with you. So please raise your hand if you're here in person, or if you're online, you can write your name in the chat. And let's give a warm Cedar Lane welcome to our newcomers. And after the service, we invite you to join us for fellowship and refreshments in the fellowship hall. It's a great way to meet others and deepen your connections in a vibrant community. And if you're newer or you want people to come up and talk to you, please use a yellow mug, because at Cedar Lane, yellow means hello. Oh, sorry. Yellow means hello. Yes. So we gather for worship today. As we gather for worship today, let us embrace the lively, multi-generational spirit of Cedar Lane. Feel free, all ages are welcome to use our creative listening materials, which are right behind the glass doors, and you can use those to stay engaged throughout the service. And if you need a listening ear or some extra support, our caring ministry team is here to help you. Please reach out to Kathleen Holmay, right there, if you need help in person today. And before you go out, or before you go get your coffee and use your yellow mug and say hello, we will have this morning a fire drill, which includes loud noise and strobe lights. So I will announce it prior to it happening, and you will leave through the main doors at the back of the sanctuary, and you will take a right and go down to the Culver Street lot, and there will be people to direct you how to get there. Parents, please just follow the directions of the people outside, and you can pick up your children after we get the all clear, and after we've been invited back into the building from their classrooms, yes. Or if you're in 4th grade or above, from the meeting place you typically meet them at. So now, in the spirit of love and community, let us take a moment to greet each other, turn to your neighbor and share a warm hello, or if you're online, greet each other in the chat. Good morning. I'm still mic'd, so.
We're going to sing a loving-kindness meditation with you guys today, and there's lots of words, but the chorus has some hand gestures, so the kids are going to show you what those are before we sing, and if you want to do them with us, you can, okay? So there, can you do it with me? May I be happy, may I be well, may I be safe and sound, may I be peaceful, may I be at ease, with love in my heart and all around. Okay?
you, Children's Choir. Thank you so much. We kneel to play with a child, to gather what's broken, plant seeds, give birth, weep. We look up to seek meaning, summon memory, sing, celebrate, marvel. We reach out to offer what we have to the sick, the lost, the hungry. Cupped hands extended are the original chalice.
Good morning. I am Barb Warman, your worship associate today. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a petite white woman with white hair, wearing black pants, a gray shirt, and brown glasses. In our Unitarian Universalist tradition, we light a chalice as a symbol of our shared faith and community. As Amy, Abhi, and Avery Andre kindle the chalice, I invite you to share in the chat where you are lighting your chalice. Please rise in body and/or in spirit and join me in saying the chalice lighting words. We light our chalice today with hope to come closer to the holy by healing our broken relationships with the sacred act of listening and holding space.
Hello, everyone. Great to see you all this morning. I'm Abhi Janamanchi, he, him, one of the ministers serving Cedar Lane. Today I'm wearing, am I not on? Yes. Let's see. Shall we try this again?
Sure.
I guess. Yeah. All right. I'm Abhi Janamanchi. My pronouns are he and him. And this morning I'm wearing a red shirt, cream pants, and a yellow vest with red spots on it. And also I'm wearing brown shoes this morning. I am a South Asian Indian male in his 50s with dark hair and a graying mustache. And could we get a volunteer or two to come help us open the Wonder Box? All right. Come on up. Yeah. Do you know what the Wonder Box is? No? That's the Wonder Box. Because we wonder what's inside. You want to open it?
What could be in there? A bunny! Oh, that's so cute. Thank you so much, Vaughn. You can go have a seat.
And that brings us to the story this morning, Rabbit in the Wonder Box. One day, Taylor decided to build something new, something special, something amazing. A giant tower of blocks. And Taylor was so proud.
But then, out of nowhere, oh
The chicken was the first to notice. What a shame. I am so sorry this happened. Let's talk about it. Cluck. But Taylor didn't feel like talking, so the chicken left.
Next came the bear. What do you think the bear said? Roar, roar, roar. Can I hear some roars? Let me hear a bear roar. Roar. The bear said, "How horrible! I bet you feel so angry. Let's shout about it." Grrr. But Taylor didn't feel like shouting, so the bear left.
Now the elephant knew just what to do. What does the elephant say? That's a good elephant there.
Yeah.
I can fix this. We just need to remember exactly the way things were. But Taylor didn't feel like remembering, so the elephant left.
One by one they came. The hyena, let's laugh about it. The ostrich, gulp, let's hide and pretend nothing happened. The kangaroo, tisk tisk, what a mess, let's throw it all away. And the snake, shh, let's go knock down someone else's mess.
But Taylor didn't feel like doing anything with anybody. So eventually, they all left until Taylor was completely alone.
In the quiet, Taylor didn't even notice the rabbit. But it moved closer and closer and closer until Taylor could feel its warm body. And together, they sat in silence until Taylor said, "Please stay with me."
The rabbit listened. The rabbit listened to Taylor as Taylor talked. The rabbit listened as Taylor shouted. The rabbit listened as Taylor remembered, as Taylor laughed. The rabbit listened to Taylor's plans to hide, to throw everything away, to ruin things for someone else.
And through it all, the rabbit never left. And when the time was right, the rabbit listened to Taylor's plan to build again. "I cannot wait," said Taylor. "It's going to be amazing."
I wonder if you've ever had someone listen to you. Has someone listened to you? Yeah. And I wonder if you have listened to someone the way Rabbit listened.
And as we consider the many ways to listen, we invite our children to move to their classes as we sing "Listening" by Leah Morris.
I'm listening. I am listening. Spirit, speak to me. I'm listening. I am listening. Spirit, speak to me. My hands are wide open, eyes are wide open, to see what I may be. I'm listening. I I'm listening. I'm listening. Spirit, speak through me. I'm listening. I'm listening. Spirit, speak through me. My hands are wide open, eyes are wide open to see what I may be. I'm listening. I'm listening. Spirit, speak through me.
As we sacred time of sharing joys and sorrows, let us pause, take a deep breath, and ground ourselves in the present moment. With open hearts, we welcome the fullness of human experience, joys, challenges, grief, and hope, knowing that in this shared community, none of us journeys alone. We hold in our thoughts all those in our community who are facing the challenges of COVID-19. We extend our love and support to those affected, wishing them a swift and full recovery. As we widen our circle of concern, we hold in our thoughts all those affected by violence, war, natural disasters, and the ongoing climate crisis, both in our nation and across the globe. We especially hold in our hearts this week those recovering from Hurricane Milton and those still recovering from Hurricane Helene. May they be well-resourced and loved as they heal. We continue to pray for an immediate and lasting ceasefire in Gaza, for the release of all captives, and for the swift delivery of much-needed humanitarian aid to those in peril. As we enter the silence together, you are invited to rise in body and/or in spirit and speak the names of the loved ones that you are holding in remembrance, or share their names in the chat. Stanton Gill. As we close this time of sharing, I invite you to take a moment to light a candle. This is an opportunity to honor the joys and sorrows in your life, to bring them into the light, and to hold them within our shared community. Please feel free to come forward and light a candle as we share this sacred time.
I invite you to remain in a moment of contemplation and prayer. Divine source of all love, we are grateful for the opportunities of this season to look deeply and closely at the ways that we have personally fallen short of being our best selves. We invite insight and humility into our hearts today as we examine our transgressions and contemplate ways to make amends. May we approach each other with tenderness in this time of vulnerability. May we hold each other gently as we give each other the gift of accountability. And may we listen with a clear heart for those moments when love knocks, so that we may enthusiastically open the door. Amen, and blessed be. Now I invite you to rise in body or spirit as you are able to sing hymn 1029, Love Knocks and Waits for Us to Hear. The words will be on the screen. Thank you to Michael, our music director of music and arts, and to the choir for making us sound so amazing together. That was lovely. This is the moment in our service when members and friends offer their gifts to support our shared mission. The offering is more than just a collection. It's a reflection of our collective commitment to the values that we cherish. Through our contributions, we strengthen Cedar Lane's mission and expand the impact beyond these walls. Today, we are honored to share the plate with the Center for Common Ground. The Center for Common Ground is a nonpartisan, Black and women-led voting rights organization who works in voter suppression states where more than 20% of the voters are voters of color. That would be Alabama, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Texas. Since 2020, they have contacted over 23 million voters with election information, including through the Reclaim Our Vote postcard project, which UUs have participated in across the country. The Center for Common Ground works to build a democracy that prioritizes the voices of all the people. You can give this morning through online, by text, by mail, or by placing your gift in the offering plate. And every contribution, no matter the size, makes a meaningful impact, both here at Cedar Lane and the world beyond. Our offering will now be gratefully given and gratefully received. Thank you so much. I have a reading from my friend and colleague, Devin Shmuley, who serves as the Director of Religious Education at the First Unitarian Congregation in Newton, Massachusetts. He writes, I was born in Haifa, Israel. I was exposed to Zionism in the United States when we moved further south to North Carolina. Jewish people in the South felt they needed Zionism because a lot of people were against Jews. And I learned things on my own and in the Jewish community without my parents' guidance or knowing whether or not my parents agreed with the stance I was adopting for myself. I don't remember my parents talking much about Israel growing up. Throughout high school, I was a Zionist. I believed in Israel's right to exist and the right to make that happen no matter what the cost. I got to college and met Palestinians through my music program and through our engagement with the International Club. And early on, I was very thoughtless about the things I said, ignoring the fact that I was expressing hate directly to my Palestinian peers. My music partner was included in this. After studying abroad in Finland, something clicked. And when I returned to the States, I connected with my music partner, who I had previously said hateful things to. And I told him I wanted to learn more about Islam and the Palestinian experience. We started a Palestinian and Israeli dialogue group restricted to people who are born in Israel and Palestine, not necessarily open to all Jewish and Muslim people on campus. And we opened dialogue and had difficult conversations. When it began, I was quick to defend Israel's right to exist, but gradually found myself building empathy for the Palestinian people as I began to see my peers as friends. I went to their weddings. I prepared their meals during Ramadan. And I felt like I was making amends not for Israelis everywhere, but for my own direct impact on their lives from several semesters of hate speech. I moved to Israel for a year after college and had an opportunity to meet my closest friend from that dialogue group. He happened to be in Ramallah and was able to cross the border into Israel to meet me because his internship at the World Health Organization allowed for that. Israeli citizens are not allowed in the West Bank or Gaza, so I would not have been able to cross the Palestinian border. Overflowing with emotion at this little cafe overlooking East Jerusalem, we remembered our work trying to promote dialogue so our Israeli and Palestinian friends could get to know one another and understand each other better. With tears in our eyes, I whispered so that nobody else could hear. I cannot believe I am sitting over coffee with you in Jerusalem. I cannot believe this is happening right now. I don't think I thought I would have ever welcomed you into my corner of the world. I hope we see a day where my people and your people can coexist in this land, where a coffee shared by a Palestinian and an Israeli is totally normal. Wouldn't that be great? He smiled and said, Bashana haba Berushalayim. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Next year in Jerusalem, right? To which I said, Inshallah, God willing. I love the story that you heard earlier. Rabbit listened. Who else, has anybody else heard that story before? No? It's one of my favorites. It's a picture book, and the pictures are so sweet, and it makes a great gift for people who are collecting for new libraries for their children. I wish for each of us a person who will hold space for us when something is frustrating or disappointing or heartbreaking. In his book, A Hidden Wholeness, Parker Palmer describes the Quaker practice of creating circles of trust, which is a way of holding space. In our society, he says, we make spaces for our intellect, our emotions, our will, and our ego to show up. But we know very little about creating spaces that invite the soul to make itself known. Spaces designed to welcome the soul and support the inner journey are rare. But the principles and practices that shape such spaces are neither new nor untested. They are, he says, embedded in the processes of spiritual formation that can be found at the heart of the most of the world's religions. In the circles of trust, Parker Palmer describes, he says, there are only 4 rules to a circle of trust. No fixing, no saving, no advising, and no setting each other straight. And each time I say those 4 rules, no fixing, no saving, no advising, and no setting each other straight, I feel this tiny little sigh of relief in my bones. What if someone listened to you in a way that said, you don't have to be fixed. You're fine, just the way you are. What if someone trusted you enough to know that you were capable enough to save yourself? And what if you could just let your guard down when you shared something that happened because the person listening to you wasn't going to offer advice that might make you defensive and that didn't invite the response? I tried that, but it didn't work. What if the person listening didn't try to set you straight or tell you what you could have done differently? What if they just listened? And listened deeply, and held space for all of your big emotions and big ideas and big energy. Those moments when someone makes space for our soul to show up are a true gift. But let's be honest. It's easy to hold space for our beloveds when they're sharing about an issue that doesn't involve us. Like, oh my God, I can't believe she said that. What? She did what? That's easy, right? But I wonder if the rabbit would have listened as skillfully and as easily if it had been the one to knock over the blocks. Or might rabbit have tried to hide or minimize it? Oh, it's just blocks, no big deal. Or maybe rabbit would have tried to fix the blocks so they stood as a tower again without listening to the pain that them falling had caused Taylor. Holding space for someone we've harmed is like next level spiritual practice. It's like leveling up. Some might say it's a spiritual discipline even. In her book, Loving Corrections, Adrienne Marie Brown says, the world that we are creating is going to require us to have some hard conversations. And many of us struggle with that skill that ideally should be fundamental. Have you ever found yourself lost in a monologue when you want it to be a dialogue? Have you ever found yourself lost in a monologue? Yeah? When you were intending on a dialogue? Or have you ever been on the receiving end of a diatribe or a rant when you really wanted a conversation? Has that happened to anybody? Yeah? That's happened to me once or twice. Yeah. And right now, I need Adrienne Marie Brown's optimism for the world that we are creating. It's comforting to believe we are in this community together, that we are co-creating a better reality in community. Especially because many of our hearts are tattered and frayed beyond recognition and begging for repair. This world is a hard one to live in sometimes. Our governments see the decimations of whole peoples as collateral damage as they vie for depleting resources. Yes, all of us bear the scars of colonialism in our identities and the ways that we relate to one another. And here we are, each of us, just trying to be good human beings on a daily basis with varying degrees of success. And in our journey with practicing the practice of being human every day, inevitably, we will cause harm, even if we do it unintentionally. But if we don't hold space to examine the harm that we've caused, we will remain caught in a cycle of numbing out, reaching for distraction, and avoiding reality. Pema Chodron says, "It is painful to face how we harm others, and it takes a while. It's a journey that happens because of our commitment to gentleness and honesty, our commitment to staying awake and being mindful. We who swim in the waters of white supremacy, we get caught in this cycle of perfectionism so that when someone comes to us and says that you did something that caused harm, our first reaction is defensiveness, which is, in fact, another symptom of white supremacy. What Chodron calls us to do is to notice when that feeling of perfectionism rises up. And notice when we are feeling defensive, and then breathe. Brene Brown and Helen Taylor, in their podcast on how to apologize, give 2 really good strategies to employ when faced with a difficult conversation. Slow down and get curious. Taylor invites listeners to literally slow down their speech. And that is hard for us New Englanders, I will tell you that. And by doing so, the other person will also start to slow down. Then, she says, ask questions. The example they use in their podcast is a mother and a daughter, and the daughter says, "Mom, it bothers me when you ask why I don't have a boyfriend. And really, it's your fault anyway because you divorced Dad." Oops. Well, we know this could go downhill really, really fast, right? If one of them isn't grounded and aware and willing to create space for their souls to show up. And at the same time, the daughter is being very vulnerable and sharing a hard thing, even though she's doing it in an imperfect and rather pointed way. As Brown and Taylor role play this scenario, Brene Brown is the daughter and Helen Taylor is the mother. Instead of getting defensive and saying, "What do you mean it's my fault you don't have a boyfriend? That is ludicrous," which may be the first thought that came to her head. In the podcast, you can audibly hear Taylor pause and breathe in And breathe out before she responds. Then she affirms that it was brave for her daughter to bring this to her. And she says, I want to understand more. In those words, I want to understand more, she creates space for her daughter's soul to show up. And as the conversation goes on, you can hear that the daughter's speech gets slower as the mother's speech gets slower. And the mother doesn't apologize for divorcing the daughter's dad, but she does listen carefully and says several times, I really want to understand you and your perspective. And as she asks more questions, gently inviting the soul into the conversation, ultimately, she apologizes for bringing up her daughter's love life and agrees to wait until her daughter is ready to give her an update. And the daughter concedes that it probably wasn't her mother's fault that her parents got divorced. And while this was a role play by two experienced clinicians, so there was like a nice little bow wrapped up on it at the end, it was still a really good practical example of making space for our souls to show up by slowing down and getting curious. Adrienne Marine Brown says it this way, when we are centered and grounded before we speak, it can help us to stay connected in a conversation. For the record, she says, you can be centered and still be messy and incoherent, anxious, upset, all the feelings. That can happen. And there's a difference, and the difference is that you are actually aware of your emotional state and can thus be responsible for what you speak and share in that state. So often, we try to be the perfect ally, the perfect parent, the perfect child, the perfect employee, the perfect friend. But we could shift our mindset just slightly and see every interaction with our coworkers, our parents, our children, with our movement family, with our friends, as a practice. We could center our interactions with our beloved people by holding space for their soul, even when, and maybe especially when, they say hard things. In the story I shared from my colleague, Devin, I was moved by how he engaged in the spiritual practice of atonement, not by protesting in the streets or trying to make systemic changes, although those are, of course, important things to do. But instead, his atonement was 100% relational. He really embodied the idea of holding space, of fixing, saving, of not fixing, saving, advising, or setting others straight. Instead, as his perspective shifted, he embodied a humility of personal atonement. He, like our friend Rabbit, listened, and with his Palestinian friend, explicitly created space for souls to show up. Now, sadly, we cannot single-handedly create world peace. And to be honest, sometimes that feels disempowering and discouraging. Sometimes we can hold on to beliefs so tightly, we forget that there are others who might be harmed by our words or actions. But each of us can commit to a spiritual practice of holding space. Each of us can enter into a difficult conversation, releasing our acculturated impulses towards perfection and defensiveness. We can create spaces where there is no need to fix, save, advise, or straighten anybody out. And if enough of us hold spaces for our souls to arrive, perhaps together we can co-create the world we dream of. May it be so. Amen, and blessed be.
Peace, salam, shalom. 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 We believe in peace. We believe in peace. We believe in peace. We believe in peace. We will work for 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 peace. We can live in 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 peace. Peace, salam, shalom. Peace, salam, shalom. Peace, salam, shalom. Peace, salam, shalom. One more time. Peace, salam, shalom. Peace, salam, shalom. Peace, salam, shalom. One more time. Stand if you are able. Peace, salam, shalom. Peace, salam, shalom. Louder. Peace, salam, shalom. We believe in peace. We believe in peace. Salam, shalom.
Our closing words this morning are attributed to Lao Tzu and the Tao Te Ching. If there is to be peace in the world, there must be peace in the nations. If there is to be peace in the nations, there must be peace in the cities. If there is to be peace in the cities, there must be peace between neighbors. If there is to be peace between neighbors, there must be peace in the home. If there is to be peace in the home, there must be peace in the heart. May it be so. And now we come to our time for the invitation to engagement. And as Unitarian Universalists, announcements are more than just updates, and we are more than just updates too. And the announcements are invitations to put our faith into action and make a meaningful difference in the world. So we have a few things to share with you this morning. The Mosaic Conference is coming to Cedar Lane this coming weekend. Join us for 3 days of faith development for adults and youth related to anti-racism and multiculturalism. Cedar Lane is also offering funds to help cover the costs for people to attend. And this conference is intended to support BIPOC leadership. So you are encouraged to attend. And priority for funding will support BIPOC registrants. If you're interested in attending any portion of the conference, let our social justice coordinator, Andrew Batcher, know so that we can register as a group and lower the costs. And also coming up in 2 weekends is Cedar Lane's Leadership Retreat. This is a key opportunity for our ministry teams, committee members, and aspiring leaders to reflect on our work, deepen our vision, and engage in living the mission conversations. The retreat will happen Saturday, October 26th from 9 a.m. to noon, and more information is in the e-news. And on October 27th, join our whole Cedar Lane community for our annual Trunk or Treat celebration. Who's going? Yeah, it is going to be so much fun. It is always the best. We do invite the community, so it's a great way to show the community how awesome Cedar Lane is. And together we share treats, we admire costumes, and we celebrate the festivities of the fall. And our youth will be providing concessions as they did last year. So please RSVP through the link in the e-news or in the flyers if you'd like to decorate a trunk. Or share treats, and there's a QR code as well on the flyers. And now we will begin our fire drill. So I invite you to leave through the main doors back there, helping people who might need some extra assistance. And in a moment, the fire alarm will be pulled.